Hey everybody, welcome back to the Hawkins Hellfire Collective. I'm Zach Grubb.
And Evan Grubb.
And today we're talking about Season 3, Episode 5, The Flayed.
Yeah. I don't have a whole lot to say.
Yeah, it seems like whenever we have a big season, like a big episode 4 of the season, the next episode is typically a little slower.
Yeah.
Pulls back a little.
And I don't want to say it's a letdown episode because we get introduced to, the character that everybody loves of season 3. And then, stuff does happen, but it's not a big episode. Like 4 was definitely the big episode. And this is kind of like, I feel like this one, and we haven't watched it yet, but I feel like they're kind of like the build-up episodes to like the big things happening with the rest of the season.
Episode 4 is the episode where everyone like the stakes are set.
Yeah.
And then we have to get to the finale. They start building here.
Yeah, the middle episodes are kind of just like the exposition to the climax point.
Yeah, I don't remember the context for this, but my very first note is just, oh my groin, Dustin falling.
So this episode starts with they're in the elevator. Our Russian spy team,
yes,
is in the elevator, and the elevator is falling. And I think that's I guess after they land, or
I guess once it lands, he's just like, oh my groin. I'm like, okay,
yeah. So they're trapped in a Russian elevator.
Yes, and I do not think we're going to learn anything remotely related to season 4 during Dusty Bun's part of the story this season.
Yeah, I don't think no.
Although interestingly, the new comic ties directly to all of this Russia stuff.
I haven't read it yet.
I know, you gotta.
I have to read it still.
It's not bad.
No, yeah, I don't think this one. I don't think their stuff ties to it. It winds up tying back to the goings on with like Hopper and Joyce in this season.
Yeah.
But I don't know that there's any real connection except for the fact that they kidnap Hopper.
That's pretty much it.
There's no like greater supernatural connection or anything like that, which is really pretty much what we're dealing with as a whole, is like the supernatural connections to everything to season 4.
Yeah, and we're really not going to get that here.
No, not really with this episode. There's not a whole lot of. I feel like it's a lot more build-up stuff.
They spent a little too much time on the Russian Terminator in this episode.
Yeah, So okay, well, since you just went into that,
we'll get to it.
I have the Hopper and Joyce go to the last house or whatever that's on the list of places that he got from the mayor in the previous episode.
Mm-hmm.
So they go to this house. There's light and there's sound in the basement. And the dude that beat him up, which you so lovingly called the Terminator, because they really
straight up film him like he's the Terminator.
Every time you get to a scene in this episode with Joyce and Hopper, this dude is like, it's the Terminator.
I keep expecting the music to kick in. Yeah. Dun 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 dun.
Yeah.
It just doesn't happen. I do like that when they're duking it out down there, he is absolutely certain that Hopper isn't going to shoot him, and of course Hopper fires a shot.
Oh, because he says I wrote down, he's like, policemen have rules, and I put not this one.
Not this one. Hop doesn't give a shit.
Care. He does not care. This is when we get, the Hop that we fell in love with kind of comes back
only momentarily.
A little bit in this episode. I didn't say the whole time, just a little bit. But they take a hostage, and this is who I was referring to. This is the character that everybody loves of this season.
Everyone
loves Alexei.
How
could you not? He's fun.
He's clearly the breakout star of the season.
Yeah. But we'll get to more of him as we go. What do you have next?
Nancy knows to talk to Will.
Okay, yeah, I have that too.
Yeah, everything's hitting the fan on that side of things, and she immediately thinks, oh, I'm going to talk to Will about this. Because of course you should.
Right. And also I feel like she's a little bit worried that it's happening to him again.
Yeah. Like that's her first concern, which is nice to see after Nancy's been so self-centered this season.
Like she wants to talk to him because of what she witnessed last season. And she's genuinely concerned for her boyfriend's little brother. Like, he's tied to this thing.
Yeah.
Maybe it's affecting him again. So yeah, smart on Nancy.
And unless I'm missing anything, we go right back to Joyce and Hopper and Alexei.
Yeah, Joyce is trying to question Alexei. That's all I wrote down. And and you put that.
Yeah, and Hop continues to be a dick to Joyce.
Yep.
Like, she's actually making some headway with the guy. Like, Alexei doesn't seem to hate the fact that he's talking to her, you know? No. Like, she's building a rapport with him, even though they can't speak the same language.
Right, but she's understanding a little bit, and their car's broken down.
Right.
And Hopper's tinkering away with it, and she's talking to him, and he's like, "Oh, tell him to shut up, blah, blah, blah." And Alexei's literally trying to tell him that he needs to stop messing with the car, because it's gonna explode. And what happens? It explodes.
Yep.
Why don't you listen to people, Hopper? Why do you feel the need to have to be right all the time when 9 times out of 10 you're wrong?
It's infuriating.
A little bit.
I mean, look, that aspect of Hopper's character is definitely there the entire show, but everything is just ramped up to 11 in this season.
Yeah, it's big this season, and it's annoying. Okay, so the next thing I have is them finding 11 trying to find Hopper for the group because they got, they have big fish to fry.
Yeah, and they're trying to bring
them in on it. And she just finds him walking through the woods.
Yeah, like he's hanging out with your mom,
right? Like... and they're walking to, where did they say to
7-Eleven, right?
They're walking to 7-Eleven, but they mention a state. I don't remember what the state is. Right. And she's like, they're walking. I'm just gonna say Illinois. I don't think that it is, and because that's what they were talking about, and they're like, what? Mm-hmm. But I put. Can't stop the Mind Flayer because the Mind Flayer is not in control.
I said the same thing. That's their whole conversation is about like how to stop the Mind Flayer, and we talked about it while we were watching the show. It's like you literally can't stop him because he's not the one in charge.
He's not behind it. It's what he wants you to believe.
It's very funny having the knowledge of season 4 and watching pieces of this season because they're so thoroughly misunderstanding the actual danger. Mm-hmm. Like, yes, this is a threat. This is something you need to deal with right now. But, winning against this thing is not going to end the madness. And when you can come at that from a place of, like, I know what happens next, it makes this much more interesting.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have a note about Steve saving everyone in the elevator. Don't remember exactly how he did that.
The next thing I have is Dustin tries to get someone in range on his walkie because they've been trapped all night.
Oh, right, because so the guys come out to take
we really don't have much.
the Russian dudes come to the elevator to take their, goods that are stocked up there, and Steve gets everybody above the elevator. He's like, yo, go out the hatch at the top.
Right. Or wait, this isn't when he this is when isn't this when he puts the thingy down? Like the elevator door starts to come down.
Oh yeah.
And he puts the green.
I don't think that's what I was referring to, but he does do that too. He gets that green vial.
Them too. Yeah, he has that Erica was gonna drink.
Yeah, Erica was gonna drink it.
And he puts it down, and he gets them all out before the elevator door closes, and then they have this really, really, really long hallway to walk through.
Very, very much an Austin Powers hallway.
Yeah, you just want to see like the car that he gets stuck going in the opposite direction.
So after that, Nancy becomes useful.
Yep.
Her story intersecting really closes the boring chapter of the show. Mm-hmm. And from here on, through the rest of this episode, she's like a big player, and it works.
Right. Well, because she figures out that there's more than one person that is being affected by this.
Mm-hmm.
This is where they come up with, there's more than one Flayed. So yeah, I put yay Nancy, welcome back.
Yeah. We get more Russian Terminator after that.
Yeah.
And
I was just gonna say it's her idea to go to, like, she
go
comes
to the
up with the plan. Well, she comes up with the plan to go to Heather's house because, well, the kids mention Heather, and her and Jonathan know that Heather's dad works for the paper, and that he was acting really weird. He was all sweaty, so they're like, okay, let's go there. And then from, like, we'll talk about that more in detail when it comes back, but it's her idea to also then go back to the hospital to see Mrs. Driscoll. Yeah. So, like, she kind of gets the ball rolling with the, like, in-depth investigations for the more interesting part.
She points the kids in the direction they need to be in.
Yeah. Right.
But then we go back to Russian Terminator.
Russian.
Here's the thing. I just made a joke earlier about the whole, like, I keep expecting the da-da-da-da-da. They use sound-alike music.
I was gonna say there was in this particular...
They did!
Because they see, like...
There's like a bum-bum.
Yeah. They're walking to a 7-Eleven. Alexi finds it. And this is when
Hop is still bitching about Enzo's.
Right. That's why I was going to skip it because I feel like we bitch about Hopper so much right now.
It just, I can't.
But I put Hopper needs to get his head out of his ass.
Yeah.
Like, there's bigger things at stake right now. Like, you literally have kidnapped a Russian scientist and you're walking him through the woods. You're in a Hawaiian shirt.
And the Russian Terminator is chasing you down.
Right, you're being chased by the Russian Terminator, and all you're worried about is the fact that Joyce stood you up for an Enzo's date. Like, I'm sorry, I think you need to get your priorities straight and focus on the task at hand.
At least he bought Alexi a slushie.
He did. He bought Alexi a cherry Slurpee, and he's just the happiest little Russian. Because he has his Slurpee.
It's true.
And then they steal a car.
Well, let's be fair. He traded the guy a Slim Jim for his car.
He stole a car and gave him a Slim Jim, the Todd father. Because that's what his license plate said. But, like, I don't know. I just, like I said, there's other things that are more important than the fact that you were stood up on a date. You know?
Yeah.
Especially because you see clearly that there's a reason why you were stood up for this date.
You're on an adventure.
Right. Things are unraveling now that have to do with why Joyce stood you up. So, like, maybe let's not focus on that, and let's focus on, hey, some stinky shit is happening in my town. Again, I'm the chief of police. Maybe I should do something about it. I didn't realize I was going to get so heated about this until right now.
That's not why I'm chuckling to myself. Stinky shit is going on in my town. Something smells stinky.
I smell the smelly
smell. The kind of smelly smell that smells smelly.
Nematodes.
Okay.
But yeah, and then we go from there, and we're back to our Hawkins Russian spies,
the Dusty Buns crew.
Because they find out where the code is coming from, and they're going to find it.
Dusty Buns and Harrington.
Dusty Buns in the hair. And they find out where the code's coming from, and I think that's what prompts them to go down the hallway to try to find it, because I think Robin once again comes in clutch, and she hears the code happening, and she's like, "Oh, it's here."
She also, like, Erica's making fun of them, and she's like, "You nerds," and Steve's like, "Don't lump me in with them. I'm not a nerd." while wearing a sailor uniform.
A sailor uniform, right? Whether he wants to be or not, Steve's a nerd.
Yeah.
He is.
He is. Dustin
is his best friend. Come on.
But also, like, he and Dustin actually think something's going on with the Upside Down. Like, they know, or they think that the reason the Russians are there is because of the Upside Down. They have that conversation while they're walking down the hall.
Oh, I didn't catch that or write anything down about that. Good,
I thought it was interesting because, like, I want to say that, like, Robin kind of notices that they're talking about something or whispering about something. Mm-hmm. But, like, Steve and Dustin are both on the same page. They're like, yeah, this has something to do with last year.
I mean, they're not wrong.
No, they're not.
You know, they're trying to open their own gate, so it does all tie into the Upside Down.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then from there, this is where we said about how I said that Nancy had the idea to go to Heather's house. Mm-hmm. And when they get there, they find that they have, like, there's chemicals.
Yeah, like, the Flayed have been eating chemicals.
They've been eating chemicals, which makes sense as to why Mrs. Driscoll was eating
fertilizer. Yep. And the rats were eating fertilizer.
Right. Well, and that's what we said, because she is directly connected to the rats because of the rat that was in her house. She's kind of like a branch off.
She wasn't flayed the same way that everyone else was. She was like, that piece of the mind flayer that the rat popped into took her over.
Right.
So, like, she hasn't gone back yet.
No.
She's not part of the army yet. She's taken over, but she hasn't... Right, but
she weirdly has, like, a rat mind.
She hasn't made the pilgrimage.
Yeah, she hasn't met with the mother gum.
The mother gum. That's good. Yeah.
And then I said creating a new substance. They talk about that, don't they?
Sort of, yeah. That's what they think is happening, and essentially they are, because all them flayed people are eventually going to pop and make a mind flayer.
Yeah, and then Will, maybe do you have more on what does Will do? Because I have Will the Wise, per usual. Give him more in season 5.
He wants to let Mrs. O'Driscoll free so that they can follow her back to the mind flayer.
Follow her back to the mind flayer. Okay. So it's Nancy's idea to go to the hospital, and his idea to be like, "Hey, let's get her out."
Actually, I think it was all Will's idea. Nancy's idea to go to the house. Mm-hmm. Will's idea to go to the hospital.
Okay, yeah, there you go. That makes sense. Give him more in season 5. I feel like we've talked about this before
multiple times,
but I really like Will needs more, and I do. I am on, like I've said it before. I'm on the train that, you know, Will kicked everything off. Will's gonna have a big part in season 5. I feel like if he doesn't, it's kind of a disservice to the story and the fans.
Because, like, Will has been the focal point of the entire show. You can argue that Elle is the focal point of the entire show, but just as much it's been Will.
Yeah, I mean, Elle is the main protagonist most of the time,
but Will
is up there as well.
Will is constantly the damsel in distress, even though he's like, when he's on, he's really helping move things forward, but he's constantly the victim,
right?
And I need to see Will in a position that is not
the victim. I don't want to see him as the victim. No, because this was when he wasn't the victim in this season, and he would he kind of was, though, because he's still feeling the pull of the mind flayer. He is still feeling, but he's not directly associated.
He's not directly affected. No,
but he with this season, like, you know, his friendship issues aside, he's able to really help the group. Mm-hmm. You know, because of his tie to it still.
Exactly.
You know, so he's using his powers to help everyone. And we didn't get to see him do diddly squat in season 4, except for be a sad background character to 11 and Mike. And that wasn't okay. I would really like to see it stepped up. Like, take the Will from season 3 that was developing into this, like, leader and let him lead.
Yeah.
You know?
I agree.
Let him do something. I don't know. I think I think it's necessary.
It's a waste of the character if they do nothing.
If they don't do anything with it.
Yeah.
You know, and the drive of the story, everything that happened started because Will was kidnapped and taken into the Upside Down.
Yep.
Otherwise, none of this would have occurred.
And I still think we're going to get some kind of reveal related to that in season 5.
Mm-hmm. Like, why was Will taken?
Not why was Will taken, but what are the broader, like, what effect did Will being taken have on the Upside Down?
Right. Like what we had theorized about.
But you know what? That's me. I think that's going to happen. I don't know how realistic that is because it is just a theory.
It is a theory, but
even if I feel like it's a strong one.
Why else would they have made such a big deal in season 4 of the
day
Upside
Will
Down?
Went missing.
Like,
yeah.
Oh, my guns aren't here. And, oh, there should be pages and pages of journal entries. The last journal entry is the day Will disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
So, why make a big
deal
fuss about that if it was just going to be not important? You know, so there is some significance, and I think you're right. I think it's going to have to... There's going to be something explained with Will and that.
So putting the Will conversation to rest. Ayo, Murray.
I was just going to say, Murray, what is up?
Murray's back.
Yes.
And he speaks Russian to Alexei, calls him out for being a jerk, and then turns to Hopper and goes, "Hi, Jim." Peak Murray.
So good. He's got a homemade metal detector and shit.
Of course he does. He's Murray.
And like Hopper's like, I want to speed this along. And he's like, you came to me. I will take as long as I will. I want.
You brought a Russian spy into my house.
Right. Like, I will do whatever I damn well please. You will shut up and sit down.
And then Joyce gives him the business. That, like, Murray's taking no shit, and then Joyce immediately also takes no shit from Murray.
Right. She gives him the business about the magnets, right?
Great scene. Good, fantastic chemistry. I understand why they paired them up for season 4.
Murray's great. Murray's fantastic.
He really is.
So good. He needs more time.
I'm looking forward to talking more about the Murray-related scenes from here on out.
Yeah.
Because I feel like once he's involved... the Russian side of the plot becomes more fun. Mm-hmm. And it needs to be. It just needs to be.
Because it's a little drawn out and kind of boring.
Yeah, right now it's dumb. The addition of Murray makes it fun.
Yeah. Because he brings some levity that
exactly
wasn't there before. You know, it's just Hopper complaining about his botched Enzo's date.
Yeah, Joyce is on task. Hopper's pissy. Alexei's got a slushie.
Right.
Nothing else is going on until Murray shows up.
And then, yeah.
But that's not... We don't get to see Murray for long. I think we'll get more of him in the next episode.
Yeah.
We go back to Dusty Bun.
Yeah, we're back to that. They find the long hallway that they've walked for the entire episode. They finally get to the end, and it's a Russian lab.
This B plot is completely off the rails.
But it's entertaining.
It's entertaining, but I was watching it, and while I was watching it, I remember watching it for the first time and being like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
This isn't the same show. Like, come on. I'm enjoying myself. I am absolutely enjoying myself.
It's a fun time.
But this is not Stranger Things. This is silly. Like, they managed to get through this whole facility without being seen, which, are you kidding me? Okay, fine. Steve beats up a Russian.
He wins a fight.
Yeah.
Steve wins his first fight.
Dude,
to a Russian soldier. Granted, the soldier was just like, you know,
he was their comms guy.
He's a computer dude. But still, he was a Russian soldier. He had to go through some kind of training. And Steve kicked his ass.
And Dustin's like, dude, you did it. You want to fight. And Steve fixes his hair.
Steve's hair does look particularly good this season it's not in the hat.
Jesus Christ.
But they find the machine.
Yeah.
They're using to try to reopen the gate.
Yeah.
And that's where their story kind of converges with some of what else is going on. because they find what we saw in the beginning.
I don't think it all comes together until they're all in the mall again.
No, yeah, not until the end, but this is where we see what we saw in the first episode, the arc reactor machine.
Yeah.
And they see, like, the reamped version that's in the mall.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's what they're using to try to reopen the gate.
And that was it for them for this episode, because the rest of this episode takes place in the hospital.
Yeah, the rest of the episode is pretty big.
It's intense.
Yeah.
Really fantastic choreography and fight scenes.
Mm-hmm.
It's a wonder that Jonathan's alive.
Yeah.
I think my first thought was like, why the hell didn't Nancy take Will with her to see Mrs. Driscoll or Mrs. O'Driscoll? And the answer is because Will would not have survived this situation. So from a writing perspective, it was better to leave him downstairs.
Yeah. So Nancy and Jonathan go to Mrs. Driscoll's room, leave everybody else in the waiting room, and there's like a huge fight between there's two Flayed people besides Mrs. Driscoll that have like found them in the hospital, and it's the boss.
Yep. And Little Busey.
Little Busey, the douchebag who also worked at the paper.
Well, I think before that gets too intense, Elle and Mike get their moment to reconcile.
Yeah, I didn't write anything down about that because I didn't care.
I did, because Will is super annoyed while it's happening, and he's like, get away from my man.
Oh, I didn't take notice to that.
Yeah, while they were going through their little reconciliation, Will was sitting next to them, and like as Elle comes over to sit and talk to Mike, Will like rolls his eyes and gets up and leaves.
Well, I also think part of that is like Will's probably also like, dude, there's a time and a place, like task at hand.
Let's be real. This is probably the best opportunity they've got given the circumstances.
Yeah, I'm just, I'm trying to give Will the benefit of the doubt and of not being like, whiny, unrequited love dude. And
he's allowed to be.
He is allowed to be, but I also feel like Will has his priorities straight.
Right now, probably, yeah. Right now.
And I mean, because he's really the only one that takes notice when the lights start flickering, when the fight starts to happen between Nancy and Jonathan and the guys from the newspaper, the Flayed, the lights start to flicker, and Will is literally the only one in the waiting room that's like, well, this isn't good.
Something's happening.
Because Lucas and Max are in their own little like couple bubble, and Mike and Elle are in their little couple bubble, and Will's like, there's big things happening and no one's paying attention.
Yeah. So they each face off against one of the Flayed. Jonathan holds his own for a few seconds. He's finally willing to fight, and he does pretty well until he starts getting hit by chairs and thrown around like he's in an MMA fight.
He's a freaking rag doll.
Yeah.
Just tossing him around the room.
I can't believe that at the end of this episode, that Jonathan can use his legs.
Right, that he's able to get up and walk away. Like the back injuries.
That's what I'm
the
saying.
Spinal cord damage.
How did he not break his spine?
Right, because the first hit with the chair is like, he goes down. And he goes down hard. It's like,
he really does.
If it wasn't for the fact that, I would have been concerned that this was the end of Jonathan.
Well, I think we were.
They cut
the first time we watched
after he goes down. They cut to Nancy trying to get away, and it's like, is Jonathan gonna get up from this?
Yeah, is he gonna be okay?
That's damaging.
That would kill a guy.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah.
So Jonathan is actually ends up being saved by Nancy because the Flayed kind of feel each other's pain, but they have to be killed individually. If you kill one, it doesn't kill the other, but they do react when one of them is hit.
Yeah, they wind up with the same injuries.
Yeah,
doesn't Nancy's stabs him, doesn't he? And Lil Busey winds up with the same wounds.
Well,
or vice versa.
She's facing off against Lil Busey.
I thought I thought it was the other way around.
The newspaper editor is fighting Jonathan.
Oh, okay.
Because Lil Busey got to do his whole Nancy Drew creepy shit that he was doing.
Gotcha. Big teeth.
Yeah. She stabs him, and the editor like, he doesn't get stabbed, but, like, he reacts like he got stabbed.
Right.
And, like, you can see he's feeling it. Mm-hmm. And then Jonathan takes advantage of that.
Right. That gives him an opportunity to kind of, regain his composure and get a few hits in. And then when they do eventually die, they melt.
Yeah, they don't pop like the rats. They melt.
No, they melt and go in, and they wind up. They melt together, and they become this like mini
mini flayer.
The mini mind flayer form.
Which is very funny to me, not because that's what happens. I mean, I get it. Like, science fiction wise, yes, absolutely, that's what would happen. Mm-hmm. But then Nancy and Jonathan are just like, let's follow these blobs.
Right.
And see what they do. Not let's get the out of here. Let's see what happens. Guys.
Come on. Like,
how many years have you been dealing with this?
Right. You've literally been dealing with this this is season 3. This has been happening since 1983. It is now the summer of 1985. This has been 2 years going, and you're still going to follow some strange things.
They're going to follow some stranger things. But, like, yeah, it's very funny to me that that's their decision is, let's follow these piles of goo and see what happens.
And see where this takes us.
Instead of being like, okay, let's go get the kids. It's, yeah.
Right.
Episode ends on this.
Well, I also put in a note that normally when Will is peaked to something, they show him, like, touching. They didn't do that this time. And I just wrote that down just because I wanted to touch base with you on it.
I wrote it down too, actually. They didn't show Will's tinglies.
Right. And I don't know if that was just because, they had a fight scene to do.
He might be too far away.
Or not, but he knew something was up because of the flickering lights.
I mean, everybody could have noticed the flickering lights thought, like, hey, this is what happens when the Upside Down is involved. But he's just the only one who took notice because he was the only one paying attention.
Yeah.
We haven't watched the next episode yet. Maybe it starts with him,
I got
knowing something is up. Yeah. But we'll see.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, not much relating back to future seasons in this episode.
Not really.
Second half of the episode slaps. Mm-hmm. The first half is kind of slow and really leans into the Russian Terminator, and I just don't care.
That's it. It's like you mentioned stakes with like with episode 4, how it like really raised. I'm not connected to the Joyce Hopper situation right now because the stakes don't seem that high.
No.
The stakes aren't high, so I'm just kind of like, this is fine.
And you could argue it's like, oh, Joyce and Hopper's lives are in danger. They're not going to kill Winona Ryder.
Right.
They're not going to kill Hopper. They pretend to at the end of the season. And we all knew he wasn't going to
be.
Like, these characters, nothing's going to happen to them.
Right.
I know this. Like, you're not going to kill off these characters. I can't suspend my disbelief that far.
Right. The Duffer Brothers don't kill off main characters. They kill off characters that they bring in and make you love for a season. They kill off those characters.
I'm going to pretend you're talking about Alexi.
I am talking about Alexi right now.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am. I was actually talking about Alexi because they did it with Bob. And they did it with him. Like, this is the second time that they have done it. I'm not even talking season 4 right now, but that's what they do.
You're right. They're absolutely right.
They are, and it's actually really funny because Millie Bobby Brown in an interview after season 4 or came out or whatever, she was like, yeah, they're scared to kill off like main cast members. Like, and are we asking you to be, like Game of Thrones and kill off everyone all the time? No, that's excessive. I don't need that.
No.
But and you don't have to kill off main characters. I'm not asking you to do that either. But make the stakes higher. For, like, if you really want people to be invested in all of the stories that you have happening in your episodes, raise the stakes. That's all I'm saying.
Right. And, like, I can feel concerned about the Dusty Bun crew because they're in a Russian facility. Like, they're on their own.
And they're kids.
And they're kids. I know nothing's going to happen to Steve. I know nothing's going to happen to Dustin. But, I mean...
They have higher stakes than...
Right. Am I concerned about Hopper getting shot in the leg? No. Would I be concerned if they shot Dustin in the leg?
Yeah.
I know he's going to survive, but that would be shocking and that would be scary, and I feel that for those characters because they're in that situation.
Right.
When the people running away from the Russian Terminator are Hopper and Joyce, I'm not worried.
No. And if they're only running away from one person.
Right, but he's the Terminator.
Right. But, like, because you had mentioned, you mentioned the Dusty Bun crew. Like, there are multiple armed Russian soldiers where they are.
Right.
It is significantly more scary for them than it is for Joyce and Hopper, who have a huge lead in front of Russian Terminator, who only has one gun, and it's only one person.
Right, and, like, they're building him up like this big bad for the season. Like, it's just one dude.
It's just one guy.
I don't care how much knockoff Terminator music you make and how similar his haircut is to Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's just a guy. It's just a guy.
Right, it's just a guy. And, and they can outrun him. They already did.
Yeah.
You're talking about 4 kids trying to outrun multiple Russian soldiers.
Right.
That's a lot scarier. And then obviously the stuff with the Mind Flayer is like 10 times raised stakes than everything else that's going on.
And they super played with killing Jonathan in this episode because it looked like he was dead.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like I've said before, he's a character where if they decided to kill him off, I wouldn't be like super
I wouldn't
shocked,
be surprised. I would be sad.
But I could see it happening.
I would be very sad, but it's plausible.
I do think we're going to see more character death of long-term characters in the final season.
I do as well.
Just because there's nothing to be afraid of at that point. Right,
it's the final season. I feel like death is going to happen.
Yeah, it's gonna.
It is gonna happen. I have feelings on who is 100% safe, but...
We've talked before about the people we think are going to go.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll reconnect on that at some point down the line, maybe while we're watching season 4.
Yeah. I mean, because when we're watching season 4, we don't really have any connections to make. It's just a rewatch. So I guess when we watch season 4, it'll be...
More analysis.
Analysis and theories for
season 5,
season 5.
One thing I know, for sure, I'm absolutely certain, in my heart, Argyle is safe.
Argyle better be safe. I won't be able to handle it if he's not.
So, I think that's all we have to say about this episode.
Yeah. Not much else to note.
Nah, we got our jollies here. We talked through the stuff that was really bugging us, or the things that really actually shocked us about this episode, which is mostly in the last 10 minutes or so.
Yeah.
Just an absolutely fantastic scene, all told.
The fight?
The fight is really, really good.
It was. And like you said, really good choreography. Like, as somebody who has done, like, stage combat, that's really cool to watch. Yes, I know how to do hand-to-hand stage combat and broadsword fighting.
Yes.
I went to school for theater.
So, signing off from the Hawkins Hellfire Collective, I'm Zach Grubb.
And I'm Devin Grubb. Dusty Buns gets it done.